I feel. Thanks again for meeting me. We spoke a lot last time about smoking, and then we sort of delved into the weight loss issue, because a lot of people put on weight when they stop smoking. And I was wondering, with hypnosis, can that also address weight issues? For people who've had these issues all their life, how do you change that, and how does that work?
Well, it's a good question. Yeah. And of course, we do have a weight loss program. Yeah. And I say to people with the smoking, they come in as a smoker, they leave as a non-smoker. You don't come in as a size 18 and leave as a size 12. Mm. So it's a process that goes for a longer time, and it's about addressing lifestyle issues. And we find at the end of it, most people will have a different attitude towards eating, towards their body, and so on. And the way it works is about awareness. You see, there's a lot of reasons why diets don't work. Some of these, I've got a book that's gone back to the 1970s. It's an old medical encyclopedia, and it says weight loss, very simple. You diet, and it's about willpower.
Yeah, because we always think, Monday, that's it, I'm going to be good.
Well, this was when now, you see, no doctor would say that. Yeah. Or no sensible doctor. This was the view in the 70s, because now we know it's much more complicated than that. And in fact, a lot of doctors are coming round to the view that dieting is extremely destructive, because people go into this cycle of dieting, they lose the weight, they stop the diet, they put the weight back on and some, then they go in this cycle of dieting again, and doctors who have seen this year in year out realise that dieting isn't the solution. Now, the reason why dieting doesn't work, there's a number of reasons. One that the doctors acknowledge, which is that as you diet, your metabolism slows down, and when you come off the diet, you go back supposedly to your normal eating habits. But now your body is adjusted to this lower metabolism, so you actually put weight on.
I see.
And then you get in this panic, you're putting weight on, so you go back on the diet and so
on. It's almost like the more you try, sometimes the harder it can
be. Yeah. But there's a second reason, of course, which is that people don't go back to their normal habits. You're like a dog that's let off the lead, and you go back and you're eating all this ice cream and sweet stuff that you didn't allow yourself on a diet, which exacerbates that. But there's a third reason which doctors don't acknowledge, which is that when you diet, you've, in one sense, abrogated your responsibility for yourself, for what you're eating. You're saying, I'm going to let somebody else tell me what I should eat. And this can be very rigorous. Now, there's a lot of people with eating disorders. And, I mean, there's the normal ones we know about. There's people who are overweight or anorexic or bulimic or so on. But there's a lot of people who have quite literally models of good eating, so people think, actors and actresses, and some of these actresses will say, oh yeah, well I work out 2 hours a day, every day in the gym, I weigh all my food. Madonna's like this, weighs all her food, works 2 hours a day.
Or eats certain food groups with
that's right. It's not healthy. Yeah. It's not healthy. It's almost like they've gone on some very rigid plan to enable them to maintain some balance. And of course what happens is that as soon as they get out of that, bang, the whole thing gets out of hand. And you read of these actresses who suddenly, they go a few months without getting apart or something, and they balloon out because it gets to them. So this isn't healthy. And what these people have done is let somebody else control what they're eating. So we take the whole thing and turn it on its head. And we say, right, forget what you've learned about good and bad eating, to a certain extent, there's a limits to that.
Sure.
And get yourself in touch with your body.
So do you mean like sort of how I feel when I'm eating? How
you feel when you're eating. You see, you could eat some real crap, some hamburgers. Crap. You eat it fast.
Or pack of Tim Tams,
Yeah, that's
TV
right. And you're not concentrating on what you're doing. You're watching TV. You're not aware of it. You eat it fast. You eat some crappy hamburger, and you think afterwards, "Oh, I probably shouldn't have had it," but it's too late by then.
Yeah.
So we slow you down. We make you aware, and you'll be a couple of bites into the hamburger, or probably even before you put it in your mouth, you just smell it, and you think, "Oh, I really don't fancy it."
Right.
And you'll be a couple of bites into it, and you decide you don't want it. So you find you make better choices. One of the first things we notice with people who go on the weight loss diet is not that they start eating salads and this kind of thing, because that may not be what's right for you at that time. It's people go for better quality. Because they're becoming tuned into their food, they realise a lot of what they ate, even if they like pies, yeah, they might still go for pies, but good pies, and they go, you know, they start avoiding the crappy stuff they used to have. So they start eating slowly with awareness. They're eating mindfully, and because they're eating slower and more carefully, they eat less. They digest it better. They have this better balance with the food and the exercise and so on. And we get people onto this very good lifestyle. And it's amazing the number of people, you know, even before the course is finished, and sort of as it goes on, we sort of space the sessions out more and more. And they say, you know, I look back and it's like I'm a different person. I've got a totally different attitude towards eating and so on.
That's amazing. Yeah. So I understand you offer like a lifetime guarantee for weight loss. And
no, I don't. I offer a lifetime guarantee for the smoking. Because as I say, they come in as a smoker, they leave as a non-smoker. Right. We can do that. We can't do it with weight loss because it's all too ephemeral.
I see.
You know, we can't. So I can't even guarantee that people will lose weight.
Yeah.
What we try and do is get people to have a different attitude towards eating and towards their food and towards their body.
Sure.
And we are usually very successful in that. But I can't make guarantees because there's so many variables.
And medical issues as well. I mean,
yeah, there's so many variables. A lot of people who come and see me are on various kinds of anti-stress tablets and things like this, Prozac and all its different derivations, and they can help you to put on weight and so on. So often we try and deal with those things under the auspices of the weight loss program.
Sure. So how does hypnotherapy differ from like Jenny Craig, for example, or those sort of programs?
Well, we give a food diary, which of course Weight Watchers do as well, but ours is very different. With Weight Watchers, you count calories. It's about eating up here with Weight Watchers. You work things out, you calculate, you're getting towards like the Madonna way of doing things, you know.
I see.
With our food diary, it's about monitoring what you eat. And we have a column in there which we talk about as mindfulness. How aware were you when you were eating that food? Were you tuned into it, or were you just eating it absent-mindedly? And we aim to get that number up, to get people more aware, more conscious.
So more about how you feel about
yes, and it's about awareness, being careful of what you eat, the time you eat, not just breakfast, lunch or dinner, but, you know, are you leaving, you know, some people, they have lunch at 12 o'clock, and then, you know, like women will come back from work, they'll cook the meal, they'll eat when the husband comes back at 8 o'clock at night. And they're not eating between 12 and 8, by the time that evening meal comes around, they're hungry, so they tuck into a huge meal, and then 2 hours later they're in bed. Well, you know, this is how you train sumo wrestlers. You give them a big meal and you go to sleep on it. And then they wonder why they're putting on weight. So it's about changing those habits.
I see. Oh, that's very interesting. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.